Hey everybody, this is David at Homestead Hacks. Today I'm making some homemade vegetable soup. This is something here that'll save you and your family a lot of money when you can eat at home instead of eating out of restaurants. You can make this really as cheap as you really want to. I mean, as when it comes to, we've got our canned vegetables here that I'm using, but it depends where you buy these is how cheap you get them. Most of these was like, I think 79 cents a can. I have seen different discount grocery stores like a United Grocery or a Save-A-Lot, stores like that you can actually even get them for 50 cents and 3 for $1. So it depends how you shop. If you really are frugal and select very inexpensively, you can really make a very cheap meal that's very healthy for you as well. Now, of course, it's always more healthy to use fresh vegetables, but or frozen. Fresh would be the #1 pick, and then frozen would be #2, and of course #3 is your least option, but it's still healthy. And usually what I do, I just mix up a variety of vegetables. I'll usually put 3 cans of green beans, 3 cans of carrots. I don't have them set out here. 3 cans of peas. Just really what vegetables you want. Some people put onions. You can really make a huge batch of this, very inexpensive. Now, if you like meat, what we got here, I got my Instapot over here running, and I have probably about 5 pounds of cut up beef. Now, a lot of times, if you go to your local grocery store and look, the ones that's already cut up is usually more expensive. It's like $5.99 a pound. But a lot of times they'll have like a rump roast or different bottom round roast. They'll have them on sale sometimes for as cheap as $1.99 a pound. And then most of the time all you gotta do is ask the butcher there, I say, hey, will you cut this up in stew meat? And most places will. And if they don't, it's not that hard to cut up. So that can save you a lot of money as well right there. So what we'll do, I'll get I got this cooking in there. It'll go for an hour, but I'll probably cut it a little bit short because this thing right here is really handy. And one thing about Homestead Hacks, what we talk about, is we know the lifestyles of people is so busy. So I'm trying to find you shortcuts that you can do and cook. And this by far is so much more healthier and cheaper for you to do it this way if you don't have any other way to do it. If you have time to do it, like us here, I work a 12-hour night shift job. My wife works a 5-day-a-week teaching job. And a lot of people in this country are the same way. So what they do most of the time is eat out. Well, this is a far better and way more healthier than eating out. So I'm just trying to show you some of the ideas that we do at Homestead Hacks and a lot of the reason I did this channel here, because I can talk about cooking and farming versus beekeeping on the other channel. So that's why I started up this channel. But anyway, so what we got, we'll get all of our ingredients in there, and once the beef is done, and we'll get it in, and I'll show you how we prepare it. Right now I'm cutting up some potatoes. These right here, they're about bacon-sized potatoes. They're good size. So there's 6 of them right there. I'll cut it up, and then I'll see what the consistency looks like. Okay, I got the potatoes cut in. I'm going to show you about the size of the chunks that I cut. It depends on how you like it. So I just look at the consistency of it. I try to it depends. You know, whether you like more potatoes or more beans or more corn. You can see the yellow now. We got a consistency of enough corn in there now, it looks like. And what I might do now is just go back and add some volume to this, because we got a pretty good sized pot of meat coming. And what I'll do is use all that stock water from that beef, and with the beef and with that extra vegetables, this thing right here, it's a pretty good size. I don't know, maybe 16 quarts, maybe. It's a pretty good sized pot. I think 16 quarts. I mean, that's a lot of food. You could eat on it, and you and your family and friends, and still have half of it left. and make you 8 quarts and put it up for later. It's another way of saving you a lot of money. So let's continue and see what we look like. Okay, there's all the ingredients. Now see how, like I said, how much it increased. That whole pot, by the time I'm done, has got, it's about 2-3 inches, 2.5 inches from the top. And that was 16 quarts. So there's probably at least, what, 12, 13 quarts in there. I got my beef in. And then, right now there's about 5 pounds of beef in there. So if you want to know with that amount. And then for spice, here's what I put in it for spice. And remember, this is about 16 quart kettle. I put 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/2 cup sugar. Yeah, you heard that right, sugar. 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'm telling you, that will unbelievably make your soup so much better. You wouldn't believe how good this soup is right here. Now, in that Instapot, what I end up doing, when you hit meat for the selection, once it starts pressurizing and start counting down, let it count down a half hour and then unplug it. Let it depressurize, and it's just about perfect. And it doesn't matter if you put 1 pound of meat in there or 5 pounds of meat. It doesn't matter. It'll just be the perfect consistency. If you cook it the whole hour, it'll fall apart. It'll be falling apart on the counter. It'll be easier. Okay, right there it is. It's hot. See how it come apart right there? I just twist it in half, and it's falling apart, but it's not too much. So it's just about perfect consistency. This is excellent soup. You will not be disappointed if you make this. Like I said, as far as the other ingredients, I don't have an exact recipe. I usually put equal amounts. If I put 1 can of corn, I put a can of beans, can of peas, can of carrots, and then I cut up about 6 large baking size potatoes, and I put 1 large tomato sauce in it, and I put 1 can, the same size as that one, crushed tomatoes. Now the rest of the ingredients, as far as liquid goes, was stock from all that meat that I cooked. So that whole container, I poured in there, meat and all, poured it in that container. Now if you want to add onion, you can add onion as well. So you can look at that. That is, I'm telling you, this is really, really good. Now I got this setting on 4, and I'll probably cook that for about an hour like this. And the potatoes will be good and cooked up. I usually add the potatoes right after I add the first vegetables. And then let them start cooking, and then I'm adding in my other vegetables. Like I said, with the vegetables, I put 1 can of each. That's the ratio I put. You know, if you put 2 cans of corn, put 2 cans of beans, 2 cans of peas, and 2 cans of carrots, like that. So that's how I do that, to keep the color even and the consistency right. But that's about it. This is ready to eat within an hour. I'll let this cook very slowly. If it starts boiling too much, I'll put it down on 3 and let it cook. And that's about it, folks. Don't forget, please help share our videos. We're out there to help the homesteader or anyone trying to save a little bit of money. That's about it, folks. Don't forget, please help share our videos, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching Homestead Hacks.